Hello everybody, I'm back and it's early summer, midsummer 1961. I just upgraded one of my trains to a max capacity train for me right now, double diesels and 15 of the big oil cars, so I just spent a chunk of money on that. You can see my last 3 years I've made 55.8 million, 45.9 million and 34.0 million. I've added a bunch of things. Number one, I've added a plane, the Lockheed Constellation, and it's flying between down here, Henderson and Norfolk Airport over here, two of my bigger cities, and it's going 15 one time, 22 the next, 4 the next after that. It hasn't really been a steady demand, but it's only been up and running for a couple years, so I can't be too upset with it right now. Didn't wait till it had jets because the Constellation was a plane when I was this little kid. My dad went on business trips and he would fly out of the airport just outside of Williamsport up in Torresville, Pennsylvania, and he would often fly on these Constellations, so I figured to put one in service right now. As a matter of fact, from going to the airport with him, we'd watch him leave, and then I'd go up on top of the airport and talk the meteorologist into letting me come in and watching all the little ticker tape machine runs, and it was just cool watching him do what he did. I ended up being a meteorologist probably because it was just cool to go up and do that when I was a kid. But my bus routes are doing really well. As you can see, there's a lot of passengers at each one. The thing is, I have so many buses going back and forth, I don't really need to increase the number of buses I have because they're routinely coming in, and I'm not really growing a waiting list of passengers. So probably in a couple more years I'll add a bus or two, or most likely I'll just wait for the bigger buses to come online and upgrade it that way, and that'll pull the amount of passengers waiting down, I think. I've made a lot of little truck line improvements as I'm trading out engines as they get old and building bigger trains with the larger cargo cars and everything like that. I'm starting to my supply's starting to exceed my demand. So I've done things like build a truck route over here to South Bend to pull the fuel and the food down here and create a bigger demand for this train running back and forth, my original train. I've built a truck line into Fullerton to pull food into Fullerton. I've built a truck line over here from Aurora and from Bakersfield to try to increase the demand for fuel, and as well as some other goods. The goods line is starting to pull goods over here, so I want to be able to get increased demand for goods in hopes of taking all 3 trains on my goods line and increasing them to the larger capacity cargo. Let's see, what else have I done? I built a whole new train from this refinery. Excuse me. From this oil well to this refinery, and it's serving Santa Clara and Bellevue. And then because I have trucks running back and forth this way and to get fuel, trucks running up in here to get food, and there's also trucks coming from Henderson to get food. They started going around the horn and shipping fuel from here to here and then into Henderson. And it was like, I have Henderson pulling fuel from down here. I don't really need it coming this way. But once the AI decides it's going to do something, you may as well just give in to it. So I've added a new line that has freight trucks coming up here just to take fuel directly into Henderson, and maybe let the fuel go into Santa Clara actually belong to Santa Clara. And so all these 3 towns are hopefully creating enough demand to keep this train halfway full. Let's see. I've added a let's make sure I've really done this. Yes. I've added a truck line between Downey and Montgomery simply because a lot of goods are being dropped off here, and so I'd like to get them to more towns again because I want to increase the capacity, cargo capacity of my goods train, so this will help create additional consumers. And I'm looking at maybe going from this farm over to here in the hopes of supplying St. Petersburg. It's really not a big demand, and the demand is so small I don't know if I want to waste a train on it is the trouble, because it's only 45, and man, the game's going to be over before I grow into anything, because there's only St. Petersburg over here by itself. It's just, I don't know if I want to do that and waste a train. The other thing I did was I haven't put a train on it yet. I built a line from this farm to this food processing plant, and it is going to send food to Long Beach and Chandler, and once I get those up near 2000, I will add a truck route between Gainesville and Chandler, push food down this way. Overall, this is 44. Chandler is 50, so that's 94, plus Long Beach is a little bit bigger, 70. So 160 a year, and I don't know if I can justify putting a full-fledged big train on, but I want to show you how to add 2 engines onto one train, and so I'm going to use this as an example, because the way you do it when you replace a train is much simpler and straightforward than when you do it when you buy a new train. So this route is completely set up, but it doesn't have a train on it yet. So what I really want to do in right away is, let's see, I don't think my big freight line or my big oil line has been upgraded yet. Nope. So I will show you how to upgrade, just to replace a train and add two engines is really simple. Okay, you go into the line menu, it's over here. And it's really straightforward. I already have it set up, as a matter of fact. You just click buy on your engine replacement. No, I don't want to replace now. You just click on here. Let me clear this out because I don't lose any money. I've already bought it. But all you do is you click buy. I'll do it to another train. I forgot I'd already done that. He's going to upgrade to a full-scale double engine 270 cargo carrying unit. Let's go over to one of these. This is a long line over here on my food, so let's upgrade one of him. Line 4, fourth line I've added. So I want to make him that's not the right line. I want it to be my food train down here. This is this guy right here. Line 10. We want to put dual engines and the bigger goods cars on here. So I just click, and now I'm just going to click twice on the engine. So I've added 2 engines, and it automatically goes on the new train. Now I'm going to add my box cars, 15. And I'm ready to go. I'm just going to let that replace when they get old enough to do it. But you see how you set it up. Very simple. You just click on the engine that you want twice. It puts 2 of them on the train. Now if I wanted to, I could take this with the left and right arrow and move my one engine to the back if I wanted to put them on the back. I run them both ways. Don't really see if there's any big advantage to that. Seems like it goes exactly the same speed either way. I know I don't have mods. Like I said, I know there's a mod that lets you make this one engine run backwards the way you see them actually running out on the real railroads sometimes. I don't think I'll ever get that. Like I said, if I get mods, it'll probably be just for skins to make some of the trains and cars look with real life paint jobs. So there you saw how to do it as a replacement. Now we're going to come over here and build this train. Like I said, I don't need a train this big, but pretty certain I'm going to hit 1 billion when I only have 200,000 to go. and I'm making in one decade at a minimum right now 340 million. I only need 200 million. So by 1970, I'm going to be over a billion. Right now, I'm basically just playing and showing you a couple more things until we hit 2000. Or maybe until I just hit a billion, because I will have reached my goal. And that'll come within the next 10 years, I'm pretty certain. So we're going to go up here. Let's see, here we are. This is my new food line, line 56. I want to build a dual engine train. And I'm going to have to do it a little bit different, because I'm going to buy 2 engines, and then I'm going to drop down and buy 15 boxcars, and let me show you what's happening. Again, veterans, I know you already know this, but I'm showing this to new guys who you already know what's going to happen when they do it, and you're going to be laughing at them when it happens, and they might be laughing at themselves when it happens, because it's kind of funny. Let me just do it and show you what happens. I'm going to buy 2 engines and 15 boxcars. You may have already seen it. Sometimes it's hidden behind here and you don't see what's going on. If you're not paying attention and you just put this on the route, look what just happened. When you are in the buy menu and not the replace menu, each time you click on an engine, it starts a brand new train. So since I just bought 2 engines, it thinks I want to build 2 new trains. And so if I just assign this to a line and send them out onto line 56, I'm going to have a 1-engine train with 15 boxcars, and I'm going to have this little dude out there screaming around my line, doing absolutely nothing but costing me maintenance costs because he can't carry freight. He's just out joyriding the rail and blowing the train whistle at any kids he sees as he goes by. But it's a real simple fix. Just remember to do it before you assign the line. Because once you assign the line, if you're in motion, man, these guys are gone. And then you have to send them both back to the depot to get them together again, and you'll end up doing this anyway. You see these little up and down arrows? Well, that lets you move cars between trains. Like I could come over here and click the up arrow, and I just shifted it up here. So I'll move him back down. So there's the solution. You just come up here and click the down arrow. Bam! He's on this train. Trust me, he's there. He's way over here on the end of it. He's going to play caboose and be a pusher. I'm going to have a push me pull you. This will be the Dr. Dolittle train. We'll put this on line 56 and I'll show you. Going to have smoke coming out of both ends. Here we go. Watch this as he comes out. Engine in the front. Get there eventually. Here he comes. Engine in the back. So I have dual locomotive power. It will let this train run faster than one locomotive. And these engines aren't very expensive, so kind of worthwhile to do it once in a while. And you can put 2 in front or 2 in the rear. It really doesn't seem to affect performance from anything I've seen. So he's going to be off and running. I'm not really worried about him making money. The thing I'm worried about is if he creates oversupply. As soon as we get to 99, 95 or so, I need to start building trucks over here. I may as well just do it now. I know it's going to happen. You know, it's like that'll help him get up to the man. Now, remember, I'm doing food. I'm trying to go for the blue buildings. I'll just do this real quick while I'm here. Freight. Probably have to go back to my little make another square trick. Let's just do that. Well, let's see. I'll try to go this way and get rid of a house. 54,000. These little tricks really work, and they really help you out if you are, especially if you're in penny pincher mode. Don't know if it's going to help me reach more of my target base though. If I go up here, I'll just put it up here and, well, yeah, I'll put it right here. No, darn it, there we go. That'll let me get all my commercial buildings except this one little outlier here. Because I am going to be going after food. I'm not going to build a depot there because I already got one. Over this way, I'll show you. And I'm just going to run it into here. No sense running them all the way down the... Here's my depot because I put it equidistant between these towns. So let me add some trucks here and pump up a couple more trucks out of Chandler. Because now they're going to have to grab food for 2 cities. And let's see, Chandler was line 54. So I'll keep a watch on how well he's going to... whoops, I better turn my train on. Here he comes. Right on cue. 15 steers on his first run. Got 3 towns going to receive product from him. And I don't really know. I'm just so close to the end. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else. My plane has 19 out of 23 right now. Let's see how many he picks up. 14. See, it goes up and down. And he'll be 14 this time and 20 next time. Norfolk will go up and down, and it's just not consistent right now. And so that's what I'm trying to... this is what's happening all across the map. As these trains get bigger and carry more, they're not getting to haul as much because they're going so fast and running back and forth that I'm oversupplying the demand. And so that's why I've tried to branch out with truck routes to more cities and increase the need for everything I'm pushing down the line here. And with some areas I've had success, with some I've not. Where it hasn't hurt me though is like last year I made 41 million. Previous year I bought a bunch of trains that cut into that. So I can literally let it sit here for 9 years, and before 9 years are up, I'm going to be at $1 billion, which will reach my goal probably in between 32 and 30 years ahead of schedule, which is awesome. But it goes to show you that it can be done, and it's not really that difficult. So I'll let this run a little bit. I don't think I'm going to really work anymore because I'm going to reach my goal as stated, and that is to feature primarily trains. Start with a train route, which I did back here, and hit $1 billion by 2000. I'm going to exceed that by several decades. And so I think I'll stop this one, and then when I come back next time, and right before I hit $1 billion, I'll come back and I'll do a quick review of the basics that make reaching $1 billion on hard mode easy. Okay, so I'll be back a little bit, a couple years.